Okay, so let's go through the four key stages while developing a community. Okay, the first one is in the early direction, right? So there is a template given there. You can use this for for putting certain goals, right? This again follows the same routine from Rise 1 and Rise 2. Please understand this. Okay, you have to do some research, put like a small business plan around this space, which would mean you size the target market first of all. Okay, you should know, because you know your niche well, you create your digital assets, you should know the size of the target market you can address. Okay, so that becomes your first fundamental requirement. And in the template shown, rate it from 1 to 10. Okay, wherever you see it, that you typically can go to. Then the level of existing competition, right? Now, if you're doing a general kind of community building exercise, there could be tens and thousands of them outside there, right? So that might not give you the right kind of leverage to go about producing, just replicating that and assuming that people leave everything and come here. Doesn't happen, right? So you'll have to get into that niche mode, understand the level of existing competition, and then go about addressing your particular one. One of the thoughts that we gave was, what is your ideal platform, right? When we do the social and the one that you're building, where people, you have the like-minded thoughts of what you would be participative of externally and what you're trying to build, what you will mostly like to build. That formulates the ideal platform. So on that basis, now check out your level of existing competition and put a level between 1 to 10. Okay, so you get a second rating. Third rating would be the size, the level, and then the target market passion levels. Okay, now this is difficult again, but this is a little more, kind of qualitative in process. So if you see that your niche, there is a community which has a gap and requires this, etc., the passion will be very high for people to join in, right? We see a lot of yoga ones, right? People are participative, and when you go very super niche onto yoga, right? Say a dance yoga, if you will, or a energy booster yoga, one of those, that becomes a key platform for similar kind of people to jump into. All right, so the passion levels are very high for those. So the target, the your personal level for something like this, addressed with the passion level that you think people will get attracted to, becomes your third nomination of rating. With these three ratings that you have, with a minimal more than 50%, right, gives you the permission to go ahead and go about creating that respective community. Okay, so this is done by you, qualitatively addressed by you, right? You might want to show it to somebody else to give their opinion as well, so you get a unbiased view as well, right? That will help you, give you a clarity and direction that you should be taking based on those three levers. Okay, the second step is the four levers that are mentioned through, right, could be networking, information and knowledge, belonging and empathy, and entertainment. These should be your four values typically that brings in the right kind of community in place, right? So the passion that we talked about is basically broken now into networking, information and knowledge, belonging and empathy, and entertainment. These could be a key subject areas that you would want to help people participate in while you're building your community. Okay, that is how you attract the right kind of people for that specific niche of the community you want to create. So with that, so these two stages, right, the next one will require, say, how you nurture the community. Okay, in this stage, typically, if you start thinking what happens in the life cycle, you will have strangers, right, coming in your way. So how do you nurture them? By communicating and all the other elements that we talked about of ideation, right, blogs, vlogs, etc. That strangers can become your acquaintances, right? Once you start from one lever to the other. This is again going in the principles of funnelizing. If you kind of resemble the two, so you have to do that activity in case you want to build your community, right? So part of this is getting done in your digital assets that you create already. Okay, part of it is getting addressed while you're doing your lead management activity with showcasing your digital assets and the mission that you have, right? If that is not enough, then you do these things again here, okay, which would mean that acquaintances now then become friends, right? So you see, traffic converting into lead now gets addressed towards becoming a funnel. So your strangers, traffic becoming acquaintances, becoming your lead, Your lead moving into a funnel, becoming your friends, that friends coupling with you, right? That means you become from friends to now couples, right? You can talk very freely and independently of others to each other and interchange conversations, right? That followed by engaged. Okay, this is how this is where you know which cycle you are in and then what you need to do. Okay, so once you're engaged, then you're married, you're life partners. All right, this is a typical nurturing of the community. So you keep on communicating, right? Like we've been talking about how we did in whole, the whole entire exercise of entire BARP system, right from traffic building to a point of proliferating. Life partner is all about community, is where you proliferate to the point. Okay, so nurturing the community and which cycle you are in with that specific member, etc. Funnel activities help you in doing that, right? So that you address more and tweak things accordingly. So that's the third step. Okay, fourth step, the growing the community. Once you have bought them, the like-minded people, there's a critical mass, then you go about all the inbound activities, right? By incentivizing people to come and join you. You are one-on-one with them, right? Sometimes, when you're a couple and you're engaged, you do quite a few of one-on-ones with them, right? They would want to do one-on-one with you before they even come to a point. The word of mouth, right? Once you have the key people, you might want to, the viral activity starts from them as well. So you might move very fast on that front, right? If you convince them enough. And then, of course, there's distribution, right? This is when you, from your community, go to the others, and others come to you, and the whole, the synthesis of or synthesizing with each other comes into existence. So that you grow your layer of influence further. So these are the four steps, key stages typically, and you should know which stage you are in to start working accordingly and tweaking your messages so that you do the right things at the right time. Clear? With that, we will go to the next step, which is how to address your audiences in the most powerful fashion.